TV soap news and spoilers say that on the sultry evening of August 4, 2025, the air in the Grand Dupree Amphitheatre crackled with anticipation. The iconic girl group, the Articulettes, was set to take the stage for their long-awaited reunion concert, an event that had sent shockwaves of excitement through their devoted fanbase. Fans from across the globe had converged on this hallowed venue, their hearts pounding with nostalgia and hope, eager to relive the magic of the trio. Anita, Tracy, and Sharon Brisk, whose harmonies had defined a generation. But as the velvet curtains parted and the first notes of their classic hits filled the air, no one could have predicted the drama that would unfold, both on stage and beyond the gates of the concert hall. This was no ordinary night. It was a crucible of secrets, betrayals, and heartfelt reconciliations that would leave an indelible mark on everyone present. The stage is set. A reunion long in the making. The Articulettes had not performed together in over a decade, their breakup shrouded in whispers of creative differences and personal betrayals. Fans had clung to rumors of a reunion for years, their hopes fueled by cryptic social media posts and fleeting interviews where the trio hinted at unresolved tensions. When the announcement of the Beyond the Gates concert finally dropped, it was as if a dam had burst, unleashing a torrent of excitement. Tickets sold out in minutes, and the Dupree Amphitheatre, a sprawling venue nestled in the heart of the city, became the epicenter of a cultural pilgrimage. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the amphitheatre, thousands of fans streamed through the gates, their faces alight with anticipation. The air was thick with the scent of summer blooms and the buzz of conversation. Merchandise stalls overflowed with vintage Articulettes t-shirts, posters, and limited edition vinyls, while die-hard fans swapped stories of the first time they heard Rhythm of the Heart or danced to Starlight Promises. For many, this was more than a concert, it was a homecoming, a chance to reconnect with the music that had soundtracked their youth. Inside the venue, the stage was a masterpiece of modern design, with towering LED screens, cascading lights, and a sleek platform that promised a spectacle. Backstage, however, the atmosphere was charged with a different kind of energy. Anita, Tracy, and Sharon, now in their late 40s, moved through the labyrinthine corridors with a mix of excitement and trepidation. They had spent months preparing for this moment, rehearsing old hits and crafting new surprises, but the weight of their shared history hung heavy. Old wounds, though bandaged, were still tender, and the promise of a grand revelation loomed like a storm cloud on the horizon. Anita's bombshell, a revelation to shake the night. As the concert began, the crowd erupted in a deafening roar. Anita, the charismatic lead singer with a voice that could soar to the heavens, stepped into the spotlight, her sequined gown catching the light like a constellation. Tracy, the soulful alto with a knack for intricate harmonies, and Sharon, the fiery mezzo whose energy electrified every performance, flanked her. The trio launched into their opening number, Moonlit Dreams, and the audience was instantly transported back to the early 2000s, when the Articulettes ruled the charts. But it was midway through the set, after a soul-stirring rendition of Forever Yours, that Anita signaled for the music to pause. The crowd fell silent, sensing something monumental was about to unfold. With a deep breath, Anita stepped forward, her eyes scanning the sea of faces. Tonight, she began, her voice steady but laced with emotion, is about more than music. It's about truth, about family, and about healing. The amphitheater seemed to hold its breath as she continued. For years, we've kept a secret from you, our loyal fans. But tonight, we're ready to share it. The revelation was nothing short of earth-shattering. The Articulettes were not just a musical group but sisters, bound by blood as well as harmony. The crowd gasped, then erupted into cheers, but the weight of the announcement rippled through the venue. Anita revealed that their parents had insisted on keeping their familial ties a secret to avoid favoritism in the industry, a decision that had strained their relationship for years. The reunion concert, she explained, was not just a celebration of their music but a step toward mending their fractured bond. Tracy and Sharon, standing beside her, nodded, their eyes glistening with unshed tears. The announcement set the tone for the rest of the night, transforming the concert into a deeply personal journey. Fans, many of whom had grown up with the Articulates, felt as though they were witnessing a family reunion as much as a musical one. The trio's performance took on new depth, each song infused with the raw emotion of their shared history. But as the final notes of their encore faded, the drama was far from over. Beyond the gates, in the exclusive afterparty, another storm was brewing. The afterparty, a cauldron of celebration and conflict. The afterparty, held in the opulent Dupree family ballroom, was meant to be a joyous capstone to the evening. The room was a vision of decadence, with crystal chandeliers casting prismatic light across tables laden with gourmet hors d'oeuvres and flutes of champagne. Fans who had secured VIP passes mingled with industry insiders, their excitement palpable as they awaited the chance to meet the Articulates in person. Anita, Tracy, and Sharon, still radiant from their performance, circulated through the crowd, their laughter mingling with the clink of glasses. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. Among the guests was Leslie, a superfan whose devotion to the Articulates bordered on obsession. Leslie had not come by her ticket honestly. She had stolen it from her friend Eva, a fellow fan who had saved for months to attend the concert. Eva, heartbroken and betrayed, had confronted Leslie before the show, but Leslie's determination to be part of this historic night had overridden any guilt. Now, as she stood in the ballroom, clutching a glass of champagne and scanning the room for her idols, she was blissfully unaware of the storm about to descend. Nicole, a longtime friend of Eva's and a fierce protector of the fan community, spotted Leslie across the room. Her eyes narrowed as she approached, her voice cutting through the chatter like a blade. "You have some nerve showing up here, Leslie," she said, her tone dripping with disdain. "You stole Eva's ticket, her chance to be here, and you think you can just waltz in like you belong?" The accusation hung in the air, drawing curious glances from nearby guests. Leslie's face flushed crimson, her hands trembling as she struggled to respond. I didn't mean to hurt anyone," Leslie stammered, her voice barely audible. "I just had to be here. The Articulates mean everything to me." But Nicole was unrelenting, her anger fueled by loyalty to Eva and a sense of justice. "You ruined her night, Leslie. You don't get to play the victim here." The confrontation escalated, drawing a small crowd, and Leslie's desperation to justify her actions only deepened the rift. She pleaded her case, tears streaming down her face, but Nicole's words had struck a chord, and the weight of her betrayal settled heavily on her shoulders. As Leslie retreated to a corner, her dreams of meeting her idols shattered, another drama was unfolding across the room. Samantha, a close friend of both Martin and Smith, two former producers for the Articulates, found herself caught in a delicate balancing act. Martin and Smith had once been inseparable, their creative synergy instrumental in crafting the group's biggest hits. But a falling out years ago, rumored to involve a dispute over songwriting credits, had left them estranged. Now, with both men attending the afterparty, their mutual animosity threatened to cast a shadow over the celebration. Samantha's mission. Mending broken bonds. Samantha, ever the peacemaker, had watched the rift between Martin and Smith grow over the years, each man nursing his grievances like a wound. Martin, with his sharp wit and meticulous attention to detail, believed Smith had taken undue credit for their collaborative work. Smith, charismatic and impulsive, felt Martin had stifled his creativity. Their feud had become the stuff of industry legend, but Samantha, who valued her friendship with both, refused to let it fester. Approaching Martin first, Samantha found him brooding near the bar, his eyes fixed on Smith, who was charming a group of guests across the room. "Martin, you can't keep avoiding him," she said gently, placing a hand on his arm. "This night is about coming together. Don't let old grudges ruin it." Martin's jaw tightened, but Samantha's earnestness softened his resolve. She then crossed the room to Smith, who greeted her with a warm smile that faltered when she mentioned Martin. "He's still holding on to that nonsense?" Smith asked, his tone laced with frustration. I thought we were past this. Samantha, undeterred, orchestrated a moment for the two men to confront their past. As the after-party reached its peak, she guided them to a quiet corner, her presence a calming force. The conversation was tense, with raised voices and pointed accusations, but Samantha's unwavering belief in their shared history kept them grounded. Slowly, haltingly, they began to unpack the misunderstandings that had driven them apart. It wasn't a full reconciliation, not yet, but it was a start, a fragile bridge rebuilt through Samantha's persistence. Beyond the gates, a night to remember. As the night drew to a close, the Dupree family ballroom buzzed with the afterglow of a concert that had transcended music. The Articulates' revelation had rewritten their legacy, transforming them from pop icons into a symbol of resilience and family. Leslie, though humbled by her confrontation with Nicole, left the after-party with a newfound understanding of the cost of her actions, vowing to make amends with Eva. Samantha, exhausted but hopeful, watched Martin and Smith exchange a tentative handshake, a small but significant step toward healing. For the fans who had witnessed it all, the night was a tapestry of emotions: joy, shock, heartbreak, and hope. The Articulates had not only delivered a performance for the ages but had opened their hearts to the world, reminding everyone that even the brightest stars carry shadows. Beyond the gates of the Dupree Amphitheater, stories of love, betrayal, and redemption unfolded, each one a testament to the power of music to bring people together, even in their most broken moments. If you missed the magic of August 4th, or if you want to relive the drama and dive deeper into the stories that unfolded, our exclusive video captures every heart-pounding moment. From Anita's breathtaking revelation to the charged confrontations at the after-party, it's a journey you won't want to miss. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.